ever try to, like, empathize with stalkers and try to, like, understand what even, like, how much work it takes to do that? And, like, I don't have the will.
You know, I don't think I ever have tried to empathize with stalkers, now that I think about it. On that note, hi, hello, welcome to the first Cone on the Road with guests. We've gone
I'm
from
the very first guest?
0 guests to 2 guests.
Whoa.
I had to very
Did we put a mic on here?
specifically place the camera so that Armo didn't freak out. However, there's still a chance there might be a pixel of baby in this, so
you'll see, like,
YouTube will be sure to make sure this video has no monetization on it.
a glimpse of her cheek.
Yep, somehow they'll know, like, they have some AI script that's like, that skin is too young.
Ew. I hate that. Gross.
How's it feel to be on the road?
A little daunting.
So anyway, obviously the biggest news isn't that we have guests, it's that it's the first Cone on the Road in Saabrina.
Oh, snap.
I don't even know how long it's been. It's got to be a month though,
okay,
right?
Wait, first order of business.
Uh-huh.
What's the rating of your podcast?
Oh, like a language rating?
Yeah, did it be like, shoot, dang?
No.
No.
It's the same rating as anything else that I do.
You don't swear a lot. You say this like it doesn't matter, but you actually don't swear.
I don't.
So it's hard to know.
Not because of, like, my standards or beliefs.
Yeah.
I think it's more to do with I like it to have a good sting if I do use it, which is the same lesson that I would teach a child. Like, those words, they're not these, like, banned words. They're words that if you don't use...
They're words with power.
Right. If you don't use them with the right context and frequency, then they lose meaning. So, like, the first time you stub your toe, you're allowed to drop an F-bomb. But the third time you do it, no more. Then you're just abusing it.
You know, the people where every little inconvenience ever happens in their life, and they're like, F my life.
Right.
And then those words don't mean anything.
That's on the opposite
anymore.
side of where I stand. That's on the word abuse side.
In other big news, we saw Pepper and Salt give birth to their second child.
We didn't really see it.
Yeah, that's true.
I gotta say, your memory of Blue's Clues is pretty lacking.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I really like, because we started watching the new one with
Steve.
Josh.
No, Josh. Steve's the original.
And she was like, this is weird. They never referred to Blue as a she.
I swear to God, I never took notice of Blue's pronouns.
Which is said not only in the first episode, like within minutes of the first episode, and
intro.
Continually throughout the series.
The intro literally is like, have you seen her?
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen.
But I do think that brings an important point of, like, the innocence of children, where children just, you know, people are just kind of people to children. Yeah. And it's through parenting that everything must have a gender identity.
Yeah.
I mean, the show is equally, like, they drive that point home all the time. Like when they were showing Cinnamon, they were like, well, what is it? Like, Blue's Clues gender reveal up in here. I'm gonna burn down this whole set. This has gone so far off the rails already. Yeah. I love it. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I don't know how long it's been. It's got to be a month though. It has to be at least a month, if not 2.
Probably 2.
Probably 2. I have no regrets
Just in general.
Let's not go that far. I have no regrets about either selling Betty or getting this car. I think it has been overall a very good decision. I'm going to go with the major pluses. I certainly enjoy being able to drive a car that I like with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's very nice.
Yeah.
The second surprise that I didn't quite anticipate is how much more practical it is than the Soul. Like
Right.
the fact that we can actually fit a stroller and groceries in here.
Yeah.
I feel like an idiot because when I decided to get rid of the Elantra,
Yeah.
I had the fleeting thought of like, well, maybe I could try to sell her on a wagon.
Mm-hmm.
And one of these was available for a very good price, an automatic. And I was like, nope, I'm going to get her the car that she wants.
Less than what you paid for this one?
It was $2,500. Which I didn't really have $2,500 at the time, but it still would have been less than we paid for a Soul. But I think it has still worked out, because if I had gotten that, I wouldn't have gotten this, and I would have kept the TT.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
I feel like most of her sudden outbursts are Binky related.
Yeah. Either has it, but doesn't have it correctly.
Right.
Or
it's not hitting it. It's not doing the thing she wants it to do.
Or it's just out of reach. Or she just hasn't thought about it in 3 minutes.
Anyway.
I think it worked out because I don't need the TT. It just does not.
Do you miss the TT?
I miss it. I liked the car a lot.
On a scale of 1 to 5.
3.
3.
Because, like, I literally have 3 other pleasure vehicles right now. If I need to go drive something for purely the sake of, like, making me not angry, I have plenty of choices.
Right.
So it's not as if now I have, like, none of my vehicles.
Right.
If I didn't have, like, the 240, two-child.
Oh, that sounded wet.
Sneezed right on the Binky.
Nice. I mean, that's her germs. That's okay.
Yeah, if I didn't have something else to enjoy, then it would be harder. But I think it's been easy. And I do enjoy this car. It's not perfect. There's not everything about it that I love. But it is fun enough and nice enough, and most importantly, comfortable enough.
Yeah.
Because I'm all they have. And comfort is key. And that was one of the main reasons I didn't want to get rid of the TT. It's for me, that was one of the most comfortable cars I've ever driven. And yes, the Elantra sucked.
Elantra sucked.
That was one of the least
sucks.
comfortable. The Soul is more comfortable than the Elantra.
I don't know how the Elantra was so bad.
But on road trips, the Soul can be pretty bad because it's so harsh. It just bounces real bad.
Yeah.
But the Elantra is for young people.
Yeah.
That car was made for young people. We're not young people. Like, everything was very thin. Like, the seats were very thin and hard. The suspension was pretty hard. And big wheels and tires on it. For a car that wasn't that performance, it didn't make sense for it to be that hard-edged.
Yeah.
And they make them even, like, harder-edged than that now, and I just don't understand how people live with them. But they must just be, you know, young.
Maybe.
They have working spines. They have these things in their back that, like, compress.
Maybe they actually have butts.
Yeah.
Maybe that's our problem.
It's a lack of butt.
Yeah.
She's just thrashing it around.
What's your least favorite thing about it? Currently.
Unfortunately, Oh, well, yeah. I think it's that it's black. I feel bad because the previous owner was really excited about the fact that it's a jet black 9.5 wagon. They only made like 20 of them.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, but I really wanted silver. Which DK hates because he hates silver cars. But anywhere, if you live anywhere below like New York, you don't want a car that's black, especially in the summer. Because it's just...
Well, people tend to have these things called garages or...
Yeah, but even when you're out and about, like you park in the parking lot, and it sits there and bakes for an hour while you're in there, and then you get back to the car, and everything is just like sweltering.
And it smells like wax.
That's her least favorite thing, is that it smells like wax. I love that about it.
Oh my god.
I'm surprised by the transmission. I feel like there's some gripes I have about it. The way they made first and second gear really, what's the word? I get this wrong all the time. Short or long, depending on how you want to look at it. It takes a lot to get the car going in first. Like you have to slip the clutch a lot or it drops too far in RPM. And then second gear, like if you don't rev out to like 4 grand, second gear takes it down too low and you're way out of power band, and it like lugs and is weird until the turbo gets back online. So 3, 4, and 5 are fine.
You're saying I'm never gonna learn manual in this car?
Honestly, this might be the hardest to drive manual other than the ramp truck that I've ever owned.
We got rid of the easiest car to learn manual in.
I think the 200 is probably the easiest car to learn.
Oh god.
I'm telling you.
Oh lord.
That clutch is just like wee, and then it goes woo. A heavy car with a small engine is the hardest to learn on. And this is a heavy car with a small engine. Yeah, I think that's probably, it's not like a deal breaker. It's not that I hate it. It's just, it's taken getting used to. I'm sure I will. And I don't understand why they did it that way.
I remember, oh, you're talking about the thing. But going back to you not liking the color black, is it more because it bakes or more because of the dirty factor?
It's more the bakes. I don't mind a car looking dirty.
I was gonna say, you're not very,
I'm not big. I'm not like, I gotta wash my car every day, or every week, or every year. I will probably end up washing this one more than any of the others because it does get gross looking quicker. But mostly it's the sun.
Yeah.
It's a deadly laser. I find it comfortable enough. I like at first it took a little, like you gotta get used to the seats and everything, but I find it comfortable enough. I'm surprised that the back seat is as close as it is to the front seats. Like I thought you would be able to sit much further back with the car seat in there, but I think that's just that car seats are gigantic now.
Yeah.
Like I don't think there's any escaping that basically. So until she's flipped around, which will be quite some time.
Yeah.
But it's not bad. Like you got leg room.
It's pretty good.
But I thought it would be better. The trunk space though is phenomenal, so I'll take that for the trade-off. Though. It does leak, yeah. I will say, previous owner did not tell me. Kind of hope he's watching. That the trunk does leak on the right side. It's not a gigantic leak, but it's enough to be annoying.
Does that just need new,
I don't know.
that sealing stuff?
I haven't quite. I think it might be
the rubber, whatever thing.
Yeah, but I don't think it's the hatch. I think it might be like the tail light or not tail light, but like there's some like trim pieces up there. I don't know. I haven't really investigated it very much. I think that's the best thing is that I really haven't, other than fixing the struts in the back, which was scary. That was a nightmare. Other than that, I haven't felt like, oh, I gotta fix that like right now. For a car with 222,000 miles on it,
Damn.
it's held up really well. I think it
Do you
doesn't
think
really
it's a
scare
little
me.
early to say it's held up very... Oh, okay, like in the state that you received it in,
Yeah.
it's held up really
Like-
well. Okay.
Like, the Soul had 50-something thousand miles on it when we got it, and that thing looked like it had been through a demolition derby already.
Well, I think you got paired with a very, like, respectable owner
Right.
of...
I'm sure there's somebody
The
out
car.
there that loves their Soul and, like,
Alright.
took care of it. What a weird statement that is.
I'm sure there's someone out there
Someone
that
out
loves
there
their soul.
loves their Soul. I don't know. I'll probably do like a more thorough thoughts and opinions on it, but I still feel like I need a little bit more time. And there are still some little things to do. Like the shifter is a little loosey-goosey, and he included one with the car, but I just haven't felt like putting it in. And apparently it is happy today. It has a check engine light that comes on and off, and he did warn me about that, and it's a very like non-important thing. So it feels just like Betty, because that had a check engine light that went on and off for the whole time I owned it.
I never realized their office is also a little shed.
Yeah, they're like trying to give me the idea. You think this guy knows that he's just like in the middle of the road? Like, do I pass? I pass.
I just like, I don't know if it's just, I would pass. I always pass. If anything is annoying me, I pass. I think it's just my skewed perception, but I feel like people who don't know the size of their freaking vehicle are always in an oversized vehicle.
Yes. Yep.
And it's just like a
Just look at our
freaking
neighbor.
nightmare.
Our neighbor has nothing but giant Ford trucks. Every corner on them is hit.
Right.
He's 82 years old or whatever the hell he is, and he just hits everything. Oh, she's asleep.
Aw. That's good. So, like, you guys are being boring.
This is so boring. How's the bean?
What do you mean?
How's the bean?
That's a super broad question.
How is life with the bean currently?
Life with the bean currently, pretty good. I'd say I'm starting to get, she is developing in a way that I feel like I have fallen behind again on like knowing how to engage her, I guess.
Oh, I see.
Like I feel like I need to,
You gotta step up your entertainment game.
right, like what are the activities to be doing
I
at
think-
this time?
It's apparent that the big thing she's developing right now is physical stuff. She seems to want a lot more
Right.
like physical entertainment and like tasks to do and stuff. I certainly remember reading that the 6 to 12 range is the most rapid growth that they go through developmentally.
Right.
She's not growing physically as much as she used to, but brain-wise and like motor function-wise,
Yeah.
it seems like every week there's something new that she's doing. Sometimes every day, which is fun and terrifying.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Like the other day, I went into her room because she was up, and from the time that I noticed she was up on the monitor to the time I got to the room, she was just sitting. She was just sitting in the crib. Had never done it before. Had never just like sat up on her own. And she was just sitting there like, what's up? And it's just those moments where it's like, record.
Yeah.
She just done did this on her own.
Yeah. Well, what a cute car.
Cute little bug.
Very intimidating driver, though.
He didn't pull out. Oh, he stalled it. He did. He stalled.
Uh-oh. Friggin' rip. See, that would be me.
There's no shame. Just because I laughed at him doesn't mean
there's no
shame in it. I've stalled this twice since I've owned it.
Yeah, and then you got people
And I laughed
that are
at
like,
myself.
what the hell?
Yeah, I can get over it.
No.
It's better than driving in the middle of the road with your giant truck.
I could do an entire come on around just talking about how much I dislike North Carolina drivers.
See, you keep saying this. I honestly think it's just drivers. I think you have reached the age. I think this happens to everybody when they get into that 30s range. They realize that nobody drives correctly.
No, the mannerisms are so different than what I'm used to.
I feel like it's not that different. Like, I drove... Are you just gonna...
Okay.
You just gonna turn into me here? I drove all the way to New York.
Yeah, throughway driving is totally different than just like
But, like,
normal
we drove around New
everyday
York,
driving.
too. I feel like it's the same everywhere. I feel like nobody...
We've only been in New York days at a time.
And I saw enough to be like, yeah, these people can't drive either.
Yeah, but... Alright, okay.
Now, I will say the area where we are currently at is filled with a lot of senior citizens, and they the scariest. But young people are not immune to this because of the lack of patience. Young people make very questionable decisions and are often very distracted.
Yeah, like the pulling into the store just over here, and that teenage boy who just almost like ran right into us, head to head.
Yep.
And then was kind of like, oops, and then just drove away.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like just people are just more easygoing in their 20s towards stuff like that. But then after like 10 years of driving, it just wears on you. Like, you get worn down.
I don't know. I think I have I guess I am what you would call a more aggressive driver.
Yeah, but not like...
But I feel like in New York, everyone always thinks city. No, like Western New York. Still, it's like, if that light goes green, you best be moving.
Right.
Like, you don't just sit there for an extra few seconds just like, oh, hey, yeah, it's green now. All right, yeah, I guess I'll go. And then also another thing is that everyone here leaves so much goddamn room between each car at like stops and stuff. Like, why do you need 3 car space between you and the next car?
I guess that's the reason I have the different perception, because that kind of stuff doesn't really bother me.
Oh my god. But that's like causing backflow at like the next intersection.
But that's not injuring anybody. It's the amount of stuff that people do that like put people's lives in danger every time I see driving.
Mean when people are always just like trying to be so nice here, and they're like, oh yeah, I'll stop in the middle of traffic to let you merge in.
Like, I guarantee you these cars behind me are going to stop to try to let this Tesla through, but the other lane won't be stopped. There they go. Yep, he just cut right in front of an SUV.
I don't know. Like in New York, if you're stuck trying to exit, what do you call it? If you're trying to get back on the road, you're there. You just wait there until there's an opening. Nobody's gonna just halt in traffic to let you in. I think it's just the mannerisms. They're so weird and different, and it infuriates me still.
I guess it's part of that, like, false, what's the word they always use about people in Texas?
There are many words.
Yeah. Not one of the worst ones. I guess hospitality was the word. But it's like everybody's trying to appear as though they're nice to everybody. in the South, but they only try to appear that way. The reality is that everyone in the South is very competitive to me, but they're trying to do it in almost like a snide way. Like they're trying to like secretly be better than everybody else.
Oh, I see.
And it just makes everybody into an asshole. I do also agree with my dad that
Who are we even honking at right now?
post-COVID has made has made the world just like a million times angrier all the time. If nobody has patience for anything anymore. Right. Like, you coop people up for 6 months and they act like the entire world feral. Is out to get to them.
Absolutely, and everybody turned feral.
Yeah. Everybody's will.
And like, most of these people didn't even stay cooped up that long.
Right.
They were already just back out in the world.
They were at like, polls freaking sneezing on everybody within just 3 weeks.
Yeah, they were like, all right, a month's enough time. I'm over this.
They act like they were locked away for a generation, and this is their time to like get back.
Yeah.
It's gonna be such a weird thing to try to like. I imagine it's going to happen again within our lifetimes of parenting her, but trying to explain to her like the era in which she was born is going to be an interesting thing.
She was like at the tail end though.
Yeah, but like, it was the fresh
where,
hot
like,
thing.
Things were kind of like turning over, and like the only place that had a mask mandate was my doctor.
Right.
That was it. At that point.
Yeah, even in the hospital.
Right.
Everyone drives a lot faster now too. I feel like the norms of 5 over being okay are gone. 10 over is the minimum. And honestly, if you're not doing 15 over, you're just getting run over all the time.
Yeah.
And I'm just
Here's my hot take.
I can't afford that shit.
Here's my hot take. Is that the speed limits set in certain areas are just too low.
Oh, that's
like they're just ridiculously too low.
Yes. Almost like predatorily low. Like they make them low just so that people
like
won't speed.
It's never I don't know. Like they have like lower speed limits at places that just don't have the traffic to like justify it.
And then in some places there'll be like a 60-mile-an-hour zone and it's just busy as all get out. And there's like intersections everywhere. It's like, well, this is where there needs to be 45.
Yeah. How often do they like review or reconsider speed limits?
I don't know. I feel like it's one of those things that they set them, and then until something happens.
Right. Accidents.
Well, I say something. Until 60 things happen, and then somebody, raises the issue, then something gets done about it.
I don't know. Sometimes it just still seems like, damn, is this shit set like when we were still in horses and buggies? Like, and it just never changed?
Then my dad will be driving down that street and he's like, finally a road that has a good speed limit. Sorry, Dad. We're almost out of trip. Do you have any hot pressing issues?
No, not really.
I usually talk about
off of you talk about car shit, and I have nothing to add.
I usually talk about like meta stuff too. Like this is the future of my channel. This is what I'm telling. And I got to be honest with you, I don't have a clue at this point. I am riding a wave that is just constantly getting closer to shore and whatever.
What do you think? This is a little spicy. What do you think about the people who think you're being overreactive?
I think
about the state of like your channel and like I guess your place.
I think a lot of the people that you're probably referring to don't realize that I've been doing this for 10 years. And when you have that much data, it's pretty apparent when things are going wrong.
Right.
And I've seen things go wrong before.
I guess what I was gonna say is that I think people also people tend to be in this mindset that people outside of them have it better.
Right.
So they're like, wait, but I'm envious of you.
Right.
And like what you have.
Yes.
And like, therefore you cannot complain about
and
it.
we see the other side of that too. Like
Right.
we see other streamers and content creators that, you know, they go on and on about like how tough it is right now. And it is a little ridiculous sometimes because, you know, oh man, that person is making
Right.
10 times what I make. But I always remember that you live the life that you're in.
Right.
So just because you have it 10 times better doesn't mean it doesn't hurt when things slow down, because you're already living that life.
Right.
So anytime you have to like step away from that life or step back from that life,
It's
It's
a loss.
jarring.
It's grieving.
yes.
Grievous.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, just because I have it better than somebody else doesn't mean that it doesn't negatively affect things
Right.
when things go south from there. But I never made it to a point where I felt like I was in a comfort zone.
Right.
Like I was always right on the fringe. And I think that definitely affects why I think, you know, it's a little bit more razor's edge.
Right.
Plus, you know, how many people do they follow that are trying to support a family off of doing this kind of stuff too?
Right.
Probably not very many. There are some, but not at the level that I've ever been at. I've always tried to do a lot with a little. And when you do a lot with a little, you gotta really be prepared to fight the fight and know when to jump ship.
Jeep so tall.
Why Jeep's so tall? Jeep's angry, Jeep's tall. What if they're not open? That would be so sad.
Oh my god. How dare you?
Oh, that happened to us once.
How freaking dare you?
Oh, I didn't use my blinker there. She's gonna stab me. I'll see her. Alright, if they're not open, you're about to see the murder of a cone. Live. Is there any shade?
They're so tinted though. Oh, they're open.
Okay, they are definitely open. This is now my life. I get to a parking lot and I go, where to shade at?
Oh,
though?
where's the shade at? Right there.
Right there. And yes, I will park way the hell out here just to find
We
this
have
little
working
slice
legs.
of shade. Pizza!
Pizza time. Do
It's
you
just kind of
typically resume it on the way back?
Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't.
Huh.
I don't know. I don't know that we have a lot more to say.
I'm kind of going off of like whatever you want to talk about.
Listen, it's the first time with a guest. Let's
What-
just stop it there and assess the situation. Find that none of this audio worked.
Cutie.
Paint wants a smart car.
Oh my
That's what Ant has. That's what Ant
God.
drives. That's his daily
What?
driver. Yeah.
Oh my god, adorable.
Perfect.
They
Call
fit
it.
they fit like a 6-pack back there, and you're like, all right, I'm set.
Somehow it still has more trunk space than a soul.
Oh my god.
Do we have to just sit here until she wakes up?
No,
No.
because she just had a big nap.
I will say our confidence in most things has increased. Like, I feel like we're confident enough to take her out places.
Oh,
You
well,
will
that,
take her out on
yes.
your own.
Yeah.
I'll take her out on my
Right.
own. I feel much more confident, like, in playtime and
My
doing stuff.
confidence in having the house ready for when she's like out and about.
That is the number one concern right now. But you tend
What?
to be the way that it's like when we're approaching something, you just assume that instantly shit's gonna hit the fan. Like, she's gonna make one crawl forward
Yeah.
and she's gonna be climbing the cabinets and like Dangling from the ceiling fan.
No. I would say my greatest fear is like all the crap we just leave on the floor. And that is where she has the main access, is on the floor.
We have a lot to learn, but so did every other parent.
Yeah.
We'll do it.
Yeah.
I believe in us.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
Bye.